Welcome to my first art vlog, the first art vlog that I have ever created. I'm very excited about it. We went to this incredible park in Catalonia called El Montseny. We decided to come to the mountain to appreciate the autumn seasons before all the leaves fall from the trees. This is our Airbnb, of course, not the whole house, but just a little portion of it, but it's really cozy and peaceful. I'm gonna take you with me for a walk in nature, and you're gonna see the stunning landscape that we found. We walked 25 kilometers, quite a lot, but it was stunning. And this walk has inspired some paintings that I'm also going to be showing you. They're not exactly paintings. Don't expect here like an oil something. No, it's brush markers that I've used on my sketchbook and a watercolor Procreate painting that I have done on my iPad. This weekend, I have also practiced a lot my videographer skills, taking a lot of beautiful B-roll and trying to film interesting takes that then I can combine into a more interesting video. I hope that you enjoy this art and travel vlog. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Ay, qué lindo. Just so you know, I'm going to be recording some voiceover here, but it's all improvised. I don't have a script, and English is not my first language. So you might listen to me making English words up that don't exist. But since this is not a class, I can't take ages writing a polished script. I'd rather improvise and get better at it. I brought these brush markers with me that I bought years ago in Colombia to make some lettering. I'm not the best at lettering. I ended up using them for painting and creating assets that I have turned into patterns. I didn't bring a lot of art tools with me. First of all, because, I didn't want to have a mega heavy bag. But second of all, because I think that it is good to sometimes only carry a few things with you and force yourself to create with what you've got. I had never used my brush markers like this, and I'm quite enjoying them to create this painting. They force me to use a limited color palette and interpret what I'm seeing with the colors that I have got. In here the sun was quite strong, so great for seeing brighter and more saturated colors. Look at those beautiful orange trees in the back, but really bad for my paper because, you know, you can't really appreciate what I'm doing. Don't worry, in a second you'll be able to see a little bit more in detail the colors that I'm using. There you go, yeah, the sun overexposed the paper. So I didn't have black in this case, and when I don't like using black anyway, I used purple instead to create these shadows. I think that this color works really, really well. Yeah. We started our walk directly in the Airbnb. So instead of grabbing the car and driving to where the walk is supposed to start, we left right from the Airbnb really early and then ended up walking for quite a while. But it was definitely worth it. I decided to split my screen into two parts and show you this Procreate watercolor painting that I did once I got back to my studio, inspired on these walks. I'm using a new watercolor brush set that I have created. I'm super happy about it, and I'm very happy to announce that now you can buy it as a digital product. I'm going to put a link below on the description of this video. We are walking in the most gorgeous landscape. I really wanted to come to the mountain and see the autumn, because in Barcelona, I think because it's quite like an urban area. Well, of course it is a city, but because of the weather, it's pretty hot, so you can't really feel the autumn when you're there. And so this weekend we have come to the mountain to enjoy nature, go for a long walk. I'm a bit out of shape here, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just like so beautiful. The sun is shining after a few days of having a lot of rain. It's so good to be here, enjoying this weather, enjoying nature. I'm grabbing a lot of b-roll for my videos, and I'm grabbing a lot of like inspiration for future paintings and tutorials. Trying to be, even if I'm filming, I'm trying to be present to the colors around me, just to see how to interpret them into illustrations. But it's just like a nice, crispy, sunny morning, and it's just so nice to be here. I love how green this looks suddenly. He's like batting his tail. I was going to apologize for my hair. I think this is the general theme of my videos, is apologizing for how I look. Fucking ridiculous. Just gonna share some thoughts. I was editing. Maybe you'll see this better. Presenting. I was editing this video where I went for a walk. We went for a whole weekend outside in El Montseny, which is a beautiful park near Barcelona, to see the autumn a few months ago, but doesn't matter. And I edited that video and I thought it's quite heavy on like me walking, and it seems more like a traveling vlog, but I do want to mix them both, like the art vlog and travel vlog. And in order for it to feel like an art vlog, then I should add some snippets of me painting, in between the video. So I thought, well, I'm just going to grab one of those images. This is a screenshot, by the way. Some of these images, I don't know if you can see, to paint a painting in Procreate mimicking watercolor, because this week I have been remaking, because I lost it completely, a Skillshare class where I teach how to paint some watercolor roses in Procreate. And I have been loving that technique. And I am an artist who like to test, I like to challenge myself and try out different techniques. And I'm not someone who has just one style. I know that is a great thing to achieve. And I have been actively trying to create some artworks which are very heavy on color, but that's more like an artistic, stylistic exploration. But apart from that, I feel that there is some sort of curiosity which will always be in me to try out different techniques, challenge myself, and learn how to represent nature and things that I see and stuff like that. And that's where my multidisciplinary, multi-style or various styles coming to my work, which is not a bad thing, because then I like to teach those things to people. Now, I'm not an expert painting watercolor landscapes, and I do feel that to become a watercolor landscapeist, if that's a thing, I would have to do some studying. And because this is not something that I want to dedicate my life to, painting watercolor landscapes, it might not be worth doing, but I still have the skills to paint one, and I think, it's pretty beautiful. And what I decided to do is I opened a Patreon, because that's something I do need to diversify my income, and I love creating content where I teach my skills. And I would love to be a rich person and give all of that for free, but unfortunately I'm not. And I do struggle to pay my rent in Barcelona, which is not cheap. So what I'm going to do, I'm aware that I need to build an audience first and understand what the community wants to learn from me, or what, how to manage that. So instead of what I'm going to do is start putting all these tutorials on my Patreon for free, allowing people to buy me a coffee once in a while if they want, or just actually pay for the membership, where I might host a live drawing session each month. I can't promise I'm going to do it, because it's still quite daunting for me to do it. And I feel that I do need to understand and overcome the struggles or the barriers that I have in order to host those sessions. But at the beginning, I'm aware that I need to build an audience. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing the process of the painting process in these art vlogs, but then editing this video in the form of an art tutorial, which I'm going to put on my Patreon page for free. Whenever I feel that I have a bigger audience who's up for paying a little bit for me to keep creating that content, then I'm going to start giving some exclusive content. But for now, it doesn't make any sense, because I have 3 free patrons, and so it doesn't make any sense for me to start uploading a lot of content there. but I do want to separate the more exclusive content from the free one. So all that to say that you will find this video probably in whenever I have time, when I finish my Skillshare class, in the form of an art tutorial with a bit of talking from myself. I'm not gonna do like an exhaustive chapters. This is not a class, but more like you might hear me talking in the background and analyze the way I'm painting this without knowing fully what I'm exactly doing. So anyway, I'm going to go back to editing the rest of the art vlog, and hopefully I will publish it this week, because it's still winter in some places and this was like 4 months ago. So I don't want to publish this video in the summer. Wouldn't make much sense. Anyway, keep enjoying the video. Woof woof. He's like batting his tail. If you have like several cameras recording at the same time and the audio is separate and stuff, yeah, the clapping is for like the synchronizing of all those takes.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I brought my selfie stick with me to have a bit of distance whilst I speak. I'm learning how to get better at recording these things. I haven't brought my mic, but my boyfriend is down there resting for a bit. So I hope that you can listen to me properly. The good thing is like I don't have a lot of cars around or anything, so I'm sure you will be able to. But look at this, it's just so stunning. Yeah, I mean the joy of waking up here, right? So we are now in a natural park called El Montseny. There's a car coming by and I'm gonna stop filming because I'm a little bit like self-conscious sometimes. Okay, so the car is now past, but I've just rotated my camera for you to see how beautiful these colors are. Now there is a plane passing by. I mean, we are in the middle of nowhere, but kind of not at the same time. Look at these colors and the sun hitting these leaves, so you can really appreciate all the tones of orange and yellow, and then the shadows over the tree with a bright blue in the background. It's really beautiful. I love when the sun hits the trees, because then you can really appreciate all the textures and colors of these leaves that soon will be on the ground. I'm really glad we got to see this. So back to filming my face. I hope that this mic is helping to have like a nice crisp audio. I'm learning to use all these gears, try to do some storytelling with the YouTube videos I do, because I always enjoy a lot watching other YouTubers when they do art vlogs or traveling vlogs and stuff like that. And I've been observing what they do. And one of the things that I've noticed is that they have like a really crisp audio. So you know, I have a lot of footage that I have recorded in the past, and unfortunately the audio is pretty shit. So I hope that this one works, and I'll tell you more about it later, because we're gonna keep on walking. We still have an hour to go, so bye. Say hi to the camera. Hello. The bridge is coming. The bridge. One of the things that I love about this microphone, and who knows, I mean, I don't know what the range is, but I can just stand here in the distance and have a very clear audio. And I mean, this landscape is just like so beautiful. I love the time of the year when you have a lot of like leaves on the ground, but then you still have a lot of leaves up in the trees, and the sun is not yet on top of us, which means that it's still, you can see it slightly coming out through the trees, and it creates all those beautiful colors and shades and textures and stuff. Aquí casual. Estoy practicando para mis videos de YouTube, porque me quiero convertir en una YouTuber. Así puedo viajar y hacer clases y hacer videos al mismo tiempo, pero hay que aprender mucho. Y aquí estoy practicando porque nos vinimos a la montaña este fin de semana y pues qué mejor momento para practicar. Miren ese árbol allá atrás. Espectáculo. The good thing about this is as well that you can do other stuff else. You don't have to always be doing B-roll for me.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wonder if this video is a bit long in terms of image, or a bit heavy in terms of visuals, and I'm not speaking a lot behind the camera. But I'm experimenting with this new video format that I have never tried before. I don't think I mentioned this, but I don't only want to make tutorials because I get really bored of just creating classes and tutorials, and I want to start doing some art vlogs and testing different things. So I think that this partitioning the screen into two parts, where one part contains the behind the painting process and the other one is just like the scenery that inspired the painting, I think that works pretty well, doesn't it? Let me know in the comments what do you think. So, bit more of storytelling. We ended up walking 25 kilometers and I stopped filming because I was so incredibly tired. There was a point where I thought we were like 1 hour. We had 1 hour to get to our Airbnb, and then it turned out that we still had like 3 hours, and that was just like so demoralizing. There were no taxis, and I think that when you're walking, it gets to a point where you're not gonna order a cab in the middle of nature. You just have to keep going, which is what I did. But anyway, we got home. We had cooked a curry the day before, so food was ready. We also had a bit of wine and cheese, and there is nothing more relaxing than winding down by the fire after a long day in nature, long walk in nature. So we enjoyed that a lot. And last morning, I didn't want to go back home. Oh my God, I would have stayed for a month in this place. It was stunning. But it was time to go, so we had time for a few coffees in bed for me. I love having coffee in bed, especially with a beautiful autumnal view, which I don't have in Barcelona. And then that's it really. I stayed outside, had another coffee. I need like 3 coffees before I can think properly. The dog came back to visit us and we ended up hanging out outside for a tiny bit longer. We got ready and we ended up going for a little meal. But before doing that, we went to a place called Arbusias. Beautiful town where I had time to do another brush marker painting on my sketchbook. And that's it really. I really hope that you enjoyed this art vlog. I would appreciate if you can let me know in the comments what you think, if you can subscribe to my channel. Also, you can let me know what type of content do you want me to make. I know how to paint in a lot of different techniques, both digitally and with analog techniques. So if there's anything that you want to learn, you can always let me know, because that will help me shape my content. Subscribe, like my video, please. I would appreciate that, and see you next time. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to leave this video. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to upload this video later on when I have time to edit it to my Patreon, free for everyone. I mean, I already said this earlier, but if you want to support me on creating more content like this, I do invite you to become a free patron. Yay! Get access to free content. Yay! And one day I will make this content exclusive when I have enough patrons. So for now, if you want to see the full video, I'm gonna leave a link below. Probably not straight away. If you can't see it, be patient and you will see it coming by at some point. I promise. Anyway, all the best for you. Stay creative. Keep enjoying. Check out the rest of my videos, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Before I finish this art vlog, I want to share with you these beautiful watercolor figures that I have been creating over the past 2 weeks. Now, when I started mastering watercolor in Procreate, I started feeling a little bit limited, because despite being able to mimic the watercolor technique digitally, it's never the same creating a tree in Procreate than having a very flowy paint in real life. And I want to share it with you just to show you how wonderful this is. I'm going to start by duplicating this file and sadly erasing these layers. I'm not going to erase these ones because I still want to have something there. I don't want to create a tutorial out of this. I'm also going to erase the watercolor paper texture just to show you the difference it makes when painting on your iPad. I'm going to be working with two of the sets that I have designed myself in Procreate. I'm going to use my cold press paper, and using a light gray, I'm going to paint the watercolor paper texture on top of my painting, and I'm going to set this layer to linear burn. Now within this set you have various different textures that you can use to create this effect, and there's no need to import any textures as you will already have them there. Now let me show you the magic of the landscape set. These names are going to change, by the way. I'm going to tap on the mountain stamp and, for example, use a gray color just to show you something. You can change the size of how big or small you want this mountain to be. I'm going to leave it like that, rotate it, and place it here on top of this mountain that I painted previously. Now I'm going to activate the alpha lock option, select one of my watercolor brushes, for example this soft wash, use a green color, and start adding color to my mountain using a different range of greens so that it looks real. I love mixing my tones when I paint with real watercolor, and so varying the tone of green that I'm using is going to help me a lot to achieve this beautiful gradient effect that I absolutely love when painting in watercolor. I want this mountain to be on the back, and that's why I'm keeping the colors quite soft and desaturated. That's fine. I'm gonna go back to the landscapes and use the other mountain. On a separate layer, I'm going to use this stamp and place it here and change the size. Once more, activating the alpha lock, I'm going to use different greens to paint this mountain. You can see that now these pines are on top of this mountain, but since this is only a stamp, I can go ahead and, using the freehand selection tool, reposition my trees to somewhere else. That's beautiful. Now on a separate layer, I'm going to create a tree. So I'm going to go to the landscape collection and select this tree, which is a pine tree. I'm going to start lowering the size. And now I can reposition this tree. Maybe I'm going to create a smaller one here. And move it to the side. Once more, I'm going to activate the alpha lock. Using the soft wash brush, I'm going to vary the color slightly of this tree so that it looks more natural. I'm going to paint the trunk and create a new layer to use a different tree that I love. It's a pine, but it has a bit more of volume. Now this tree is a little bit wobbly, doesn't matter. I can make it straight using the move tool. I want this tree to be hit by a bit of this light. Now I'm going to create a person. Just so you know, I will be maybe adding a few more people to this set, and I want to add a girl as well. Maybe their shadows are too strong, so I'm going to cut them on a separate layer and lower the opacity of the shadows. I am also going to change the tone of the shadows to a warmer one. Now I also want to show you all these grasses that I feel are great to create texture on the foreground. And lastly, let's go ahead and add some birds on a separate layer always, so that I can move them independently. Maybe I don't want this bird to be here, but a bit further away and larger, so it looks like it's coming this way. And see how in no time I have a stunning landscape that was really fun to make. I am very proud of these brushes, I have to say. I am using them a lot, and this is actually teaching me things that I can then apply in real life. And if you use them, please, if you can tag me, you would make me very happy, as I would love to see how you make them yours. On a different set, you will find these marine subjects that you can recolor on top. This is a reflection of the water. Look at that. The birds and, you know, other stuff. Anyway, all the best for you. Stay creative. Keep enjoying. Check out the rest of my videos, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.